Hello everyone, I'm your host, your SCP host, Skills to Play, and welcome to the next beta build. This time, big news, 096 is back! Yeah! The roster is now complete, and he received some really interesting changes, so let's get right into that. First off, 096. Yes, he's back, and he's gotten a fresh new coat of paint. To begin with, 096 has received some QOL changes to his rage, which makes it more predictable and comprehensible to newer players. A pop-up appears whenever someone looks at 096, and the player playing 096 can choose whether or not to enrage. There's also a new visual effect when looking at 096. 096 also receives a cooldown indicator for his rage when he enrages. The ability Try Not to Cry has also been changed. It is usable almost everywhere now, and no longer requires a door. It can be used while facing any flat surface. The ability silences his crying over a short time, but can be held down to quiet almost instantly. Zero 096's attacks are now 2-hit, both charge and the whack. The whack does 85 damage, while the charge does 90. 096's base health is now 2500, and his human shield is initially capped at 600, and can go up to 1200 when his health decreases. In his rage, his hume is cut in half. He can't regen hume while enraged. After exiting, his hume doubles. His speed increases to 2.5 meters per second after entering and exiting his rage. And then while enraged, he moves slightly slower at about 7.9 meters per second. 096 will remain enraged for a minimum of 20 seconds, and every additional target adds 3 seconds, up to a maximum of 35 seconds. 096 also no longer suffers a cooldown between rages, meaning he can rage as soon as he finishes another one. Moving on, 939 has received some interesting changes. Also, there's a little target counter up in the thing. No, 049 has its own. I'll show that in a second. Anyways, 939's remaining abilities are now here. So, he can set and remove a mimic point. So, I'll show that. So, voila. Is that. And then you can actually go pretty far. But then you come over here and then I can just like kind of play it from right there, and there's a pretty big cooldown. You also do your voices there, and really anything. But there's also no cooldown for the mimic point. Let's see, and there's also environmental mimicry, which contains pure recorded sounds. So there's footsteps. There's actually like their gun sounds too, which is really interesting. Impersonation, which is like sound effects from them. And yeah, so that's 939 stuff. 049 has received a few changes. So 049-2s are no longer resurrectable if they did not die to humans. Good Sense of the Doctor is now immediately cancelled if 049 attacks someone other than its target. So the F1 things are here now. I'll bring these two lovely lads over. So if I on that one and I press F, and I got him now. And then it stops it when I click him. So yeah, there's also that cool little thing for reviving. They implemented a counter. Oh, that guy died. For 049 zombies. If I get these two boys, you can see, boom, number. And they re-added 049's headshot multiplier, so now they take more damage from headshots. And then they implemented indicators for bodies. So as you saw right there, now I have two zombies whacking at the air. As zombies do, you know. Oh, they're throwing hands. Oh my god. 106 now has increased hume shield. As you can see, he has 300 hume shield. Emerging from stock will trigger a cooldown. So if I stock, also has a really disturbing sound. So it's a cooldown. So it prevents you from using Hunter's Atlas and stock for 20 seconds. So as you see right there, cooldown. Then each human captured reduces it by 5 seconds. So if I, bring these two lovely test subjects, I capture one and I go to capture the other. Goodbye. You can come down here, so that should be 10 seconds. And yeah. 106 can also now see uninjured people at a short distance in stock. And then attack cooldown on miss has been removed. The cooldown on a successful hit has been lowered. So it's not as much downtime between clicking people. Moving back to 939, his claw range has been adjusted, so it's been increased. So if I come over here, all right, so we can see the fellow D class. So if you guys stand right there, so this is from this distance. If I get a little closer, this is pretty far. Then humans are more likely to be detected by 939 after making a footstep. So go ahead and like walk around. And you see they kind of pop up a little bit, and then I can chase after them. You know, whack them a bit. There they go. So when they're jumping around and stuff, it should be easier to hit them. Amnestic Cloud speed, or Amnestic Cloud deploy speed has been increased significantly. And then its maximum size has also been increased by 20%, and its sound effect no longer is audible to humans of it being deployed. So let's go ahead and actually head over in here, and then let's go ahead and deploy it. So let me go ahead and just let out a massive fart. There we go. See, that's pretty big, and it actually does wrap around the room. Like it wraps on things. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And amnesia will no longer prevent reloads or use of medical items for the first 2 seconds. So you can use stuff after a little bit. Moving on, 173 has received a few changes. Namely, his health. It's very high now, 4,000 HP. They reduced the blink time from 3.6 to 3 seconds. So if I bring over once again my fellow test subjects, and see it's 3 seconds, and they're gonna try and run. And also the range has been reduced from 9.1 to 8 meters, or 9.1 meters to 8 meters. Then they increased the human regeneration speed by 50%, and then killing players with sustained effect immediately restores 400 Hume Shield, which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and shoot me a little bit. All right, boom, 400 Hume Shield. Get away from that grenade. And yeah. Moving on to some miscellaneous changes. They rebalanced respawn tokens, so spawn waves should no longer be as repetitive. They changed the appearance of the remaining targets. As you can see, it's now a little person icon with a little number. Much better, but so much better. F1 menus are back, as you saw. They implemented sounds for 1.6's sinkhole, and the AFK kicker has been re-implemented. So if you're AFK, hi! And then they fixed a few bugs with operational guide, and then they metrified 049's attack range, which means it's now, you know, properly a distance, you know. And then they added the Christmas decorations in the thing. They added Christmas decorations in straight white hallways, or they fixed it. So now there's fun decorations, and that's the build. So pretty big. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Or in the next video, whenever I edit it. Anyways, ta-ta. Bye-bye.